From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
12 minutes before 12 o'clock, it's time for Midday with Joe. Kevin Christian is joining Joe.
Is my mic live?
You're live.
What's with this damn Google? I say, hello, Google, and I'm trying to, how old is Ben Bereed? And it comes in, and Larry's talking about something. He says, 1992. Disregards everything I say, but grabs 1992.
Have you enjoyed the radio show this morning? This was a great morning. You picked a good day to come.
I've enjoyed it.
We had NASA. We had a girl from The Voice.
I know. She had stars in her eyes.
Kevin Christian. It was amazing. Yes.
Very amazing.
So now our topic
Lisa
with you,
McGinnis.
before we, and Lisa, of course.
What are we going to do? Talk about paint drying? What the heck?
No. This is mistakes you have made while trying to be polite.
Oh, I wish you warned me. I got a list longer than your arm.
Can you think of them off the top of your head?
I guess I'm going to have to.
Well,
huh?
I can tell you one that Robin did. I told Kevin this off the air.
Oh, gee, thanks, Robin. You get zapped today instead of me.
We had a guest, and she was up in Massachusetts, and Robin said, "Yes, ma'am."
And it was not a ma'am.
No, she was a ma'am, but she didn't like the word ma'am. And she let Robin have it. It was so...
Yeah,
I thought she was rude, but see, Robin
On
was
the
trying
air.
to... Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But Robin was trying to be polite,
Yeah.
and she just let... I thought that was the rudest thing, so...
Wow.
Oh, I've spoke to one lady. I didn't know how religious she was. And I said, well, the guys are going to get together and going to throw the bull. No, you can't say that.
That's it?
Well, bull means bull.
Yeah, but if you don't...
Well, I never said the last part,
Right.
So I said, oh, okay, and I tried to go from bull to chewing the fat and it didn't matter. By then I was on her list.
You planted that seed.
I planted that seed, and she both feet whoa. I walked out there with my tail between my legs. I just didn't.
Did you ever go to a Japanese person's home and take your shoes off thinking that's what you're supposed to do?
Oh, and they look at you and say, what were you?
What are you doing?
What were you? We're not in Japan. What were you?
You think you're trying to be polite.
Put those shoes on, your feet stink. Nice to me. Did I do something wrong? I hear, Larry.
All those
you
letters.
don't invite it here no more.
All those letters Joe's going to get now.
Yeah.
That's Joe Martone.
Oh, no, Larry at WOSA.com. I tell you what, Larry Ford stink. Right one more than left.
Well, I had made a mistake at a funeral. These two women
Oh.
exactly the same, and I was for the funeral for my friend's dad, and then I was talking to one woman, and then I called her by the wrong name, and she said, well, she passed away 6 months ago. Oh. And I didn't know.
What
So
do
there
you
I
do?
was.
You thought you were talking to her.
Right, but she had died 6 months earlier, so it's like, oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh, that is embarrassing. Well,
I know, I can
more embarrassing things.
Yeah.
Went to eat, and our person that takes care of you at the dinner table came up, and we're sitting down to eating, and we missed something or whatever, and the person came back to help us, and I was sitting with someone else, and they looked at the person there, and they says, how did they put it? But turned to me and says, I wonder if he is going to be able to get back to us, and he is standing right there, except he was a she.
Okay.
But she had such cropped hair,
Right.
and it looked like a he because the shirt was very loose and but I had caught her name when she first introduced herself. But the person I was with did not, and so he and then she just kind of. Oh, I just got out of the Air Force. Don't look at my mustache, whatever. But it was a girl. It was a girl.
We had instructions once to refer to somebody as they. Because the person had changed sex, and I can't remember which direction.
So what do you call them?
They.
Well, we do that occasionally anyway. Well,
They.
Hey, what do they want? Meaning a group of people, or they meaning you don't know somebody personally. But if you're talking about somebody that you've met, it should be he or she, I would think.
Not with this
A
one.
singular person you call in they?
She
So in
said
other words,
like you should go home and read a book to your child because they will enjoy it. You could say because he or she will enjoy it, but that's not very
I'm facing you and I'm going to say, Hey, how are they doing?
No, so introducing her, let's say her name was Susan. So I say, Susan is on the phone. She's written a book called I Am Susan, and they want to talk to you about what life is like for them. And it's like, it was so weird to have the plural to reference one person.
Multiple personalities. Me, myself, and I got 3 of them. Hey.
Did you have any, Kevin? That you can think of?
The only thing I can think of is
share?
when you that I wanted to share. It's awkward when you're meeting someone. I actually have 2, and you go to shake their hand and they don't catch that, and so you're like, oh, okay, thank you very much.
Right.
Well, that's why this side of my hair is always
nice.
You
try to recover.
You go like this. You go up and then
Yes.
smooth your hair down. Yeah.
My gosh, that's embarrassing. And then you ever get into a situation where you're talking with someone and you're a great conversation, and for the life of you, you just cannot remember their name.
Yes.
And you've met them 3 times already.
I'm at
And
that age
you'll
now.
say-
No.
You'll say, "Oh, it's so great to meet you again," and they're like, well, "Yeah, I've met you 3 times."
I'm at
just
that age
kinda-
now, Kevin. I just say,
I am so sorry.
I know you by your face. Where have I met you? I don't have time for 10 minutes of guess who, you know, kind of thing.
I hear you. I'm
But
kinda there with you.
now the newer generation says shaking the hand, and they don't
do that.
or the fist pump or anything, right? So I'm like this, and I look at him. Are you going to leave me hanging?
Oh, I'll tell you.
Trying
Out
to
to the
fit
people.
in.
What is this? No.
I'll tell you one. Here's one. We have Rabbi Hecht in here sometimes, and his religion, he doesn't hug women. So the very first time,
shake
He's not Italian, that's for sure.
or shake hands. He doesn't
Or
shake hands.
yeah, no.
But the first
With
time,
women or at all?
No, with women, he doesn't shake hands.
Really?
Oh,
Women,
okay.
yeah.
I didn't even know.
So how's the deal? I got to talk to that boy. All you want? Don't know what I'm going to do with him?
Joe at WOCA.com. So when Robert gets to hug
But
him,
was that the Japanese person, or was he being the
That was
rabbi
Jewish.
there?
That was-
Joey's, what's wrong? You want me to make it easier for you?
so I don't know if you know
I'll
this.
sell it to you cheap.
Yes, Joe at WOCA.
That's
All right, so
right.
I don't know if you know this, but stacking plates at the table at a restaurant. Let's say you're done eating and you want to make it easier for the waitress. That's actually
Not
rude.
supposed to
I
do that.
I do that.
You're
Oh,
doing their
that's
job for
rude.
them?
Their
Trying to be polite.
Oh, you're so. Oh, by the way, before I forget,
Yeah?
before we run out of time, got all these apple trees in the way. I can't see the clock. There we go. All right.
It's-
What do we got?
it's-
A minute?
It's an orchard.
It's a 1-minute fast, so
Okay, well,
you've got like 6 minutes.
Don't forget Gander Mountain, 9 a.m. tomorrow. Is putting up that big flag. I want everybody to call Gander Mountain and say, we heard at WOCA. I understand you're not giving veterans a discount. How are you supporting veterans? You're putting a big flag up. Is it just a publicity stunt at your 90 stores, or are you going to support us in some way? Mouth service, lip service is great. You support us, but either volunteer and do something, or take them down. That's my opinion.
That's a good job.
You know, I'm a veteran, and I support veterans, and I help veterans in a lot of ways. Financially, I can't do that. A lot of people can't, they say. So, therefore,
I know Cala Magazine is working with you guys. She told us earlier. Lisa told us.
yes, we are behind the scenes, and she kind of brought it up front, didn't she?
November 11th.
Dun, 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 dun.
So here's another thing.
Sure.
You're trying to be polite in a restaurant that's like an Italian restaurant.
Oh,
and
boy.
you try to order it in Italian, but you're not really
No.
good at Italian.
Why would you do that?
Because you're trying to be polite. You think
No,
this
that's
is...
not-
I know.
That's not polite,
I
that's
put my
stupid.
foot in it Saturday. I went to an Italian restaurant. She was from Italy. I said a lot of things in Italian, but I asked her one thing, and she looked at me like a deer in headlights. I said, "Scusa." She says, "Yes." "Scusa, una casa?" And she looked at me and she says, "What?" Well, it's a section of Italy that my ancestors were from, and that's how I learned. Upa casa means bathroom,
Okay.
Oh,
but.
Apparently not.
I was going to. Well, apparently,
Yes.
apparently not. She just got. Well, it's like us saying you all or something. Someone from the north listen to someone in the south. It's like it means a poke in the bag. I want a poke.
Oh, wow.
And it's like
You asked her for a poke?
no. I asked her where the bacaos was.
Right, but she took it as a poke?
No, she had no idea what I was talking about. Thank goodness.
Oh, okay.
So then I said it in English. She says, I don't know. She pointed where it was, where to go. But it was like, yeah, well, a sack. In the South, they call it a sack. Up north, it's a grocery bag.
Yeah.
you know, or a toboggan. A toboggan, you put your butt on, you slide down.
No, a toboggan you put on your head.
There you go. But there's a lot of different.
Really?
Yes.
I never knew that.
Sure.
Yes.
Sure. So there's So when I moved to North Carolina for 27 years, I lived there. I learned quickly what everything was. What I thought was something else wasn't something else. So it was like, woo! How much we got, Larry?
You got 2.5 minutes.
Oh, 2.5 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought
we're
I would. Boy, that clock is faster. So that's why the slang was like, I must, you know. And my son was there, and he just gives me, oh, you did it again.
So
Dad.
if you went to a French restaurant, would you order in French?
I would try.
No, but I think if you went to the French restaurant at Epcot, where they're all French, they're from France. You would start with bonjour. You might ask for it in
Okay,
English.
that's fine. But then you would say, okay, I'd like this, and you'd point to something on the menu.
There you go.
Right.
Because otherwise, you're going to make yourself look foolish.
That's it. Yeah,
Right, right.
yeah. I know 3 words,
Tries to
3 or
be
4
polite.
words in French. I wouldn't do that. Italian, I know more, but
She didn't.
that
Evidently
one
you
word I
don't.
figured, you know, but I didn't know it was a slang, you know.
He didn't know you're Italian.
Oh, I told her. I asked what their last name were.
Okay.
And I tell her what my last name is, but I pronounce it like they pronounce it in Italy, not here. Here it's Martone. In Italy, it's Martoni.
Matoni.
And I, you know, and then of course politely I ask her last name and then where she's from, on the boots or Sicily or whatever. You know, so she, you know, and then I explain where my ancestors
Smoothed
were.
it all over.
This was before I put my foot in my mouth, so she knew where I was from.
Okay.
This is after the meal.
Oh, that's a good thing.
Yeah, it was after everything was served. We were
Don't
sipping
ever
our
make-
espresso. We just finished the cannoli, and it was time to relieve the inner pressure. Yes. So
Don't make the waiter mad.
no, not before you eat. No.
Exactly.
Ooh.
But I guess it was my birthday present. I hope my son gave her. Oh,
It
you
was
got to
in
give her an
Disney
extra
Springs,
tip.
Kevin. It was in Disney Springs too.
Yeah, it was in
Okay.
this.
Yeah.
Nice. What was the name of the
Disney
restaurant?
Enzo's,
know-
Marie and
Oh,
something.
Enzo's.
There you go. And
Have you been there?
That's yes,
Is it
that's
really
really
nice?
nice. Really good
yeah,
food.
he
yes.
treated me for my birthday Saturday.
Really, that is definitely a special occasion restaurant.
It was.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, good for him. He did good. He got a data boy a lot. Yeah. Oh well, I'll be back. You know, you don't go in there with an empty wallet, but you leave with one. Yes.
But it's a good meal that's not rushed.
Oh, it's definitely not rushed. No.
30 seconds.
So it was phenomenal, and I enjoyed it. I'll say it over, and I don't usually say restaurants over the air because I don't pay for airtime, but that's an
Enzo.
exception. That was an exception. And the decor was a 30s, 20s, and 30s. The decor in there, and everything was spot on. Everybody spoke Italian in there, and it was an enjoyable time. I will go back. So remember. Thank you for listening during the week for AMO Cal Light. Thank you, Kevin, for being a guest with
Thank
our
Thank you,
morning
Kevin.
team, Larry and Robin. This is WOCA Ocala.
Fox News Radio, I'm Chris Foster. President Trump's bragging about the economy with economic growth reported at 4.1% in the second quarter of the year.
We are now on track to hit an average GDP annual growth of over 3%, and it could be substantially over 3%.
The last 2 presidents averaged under 2% growth. President Trump's also